It's always scary whenever that happens because is it working? I don't have it set up for some reason it's hold on. It says it's live on the channel. I don't see it in the thing, do you? Hold on.
There we go. I'm seeing it now.
You see it now?
Hmm.
Okay. I'm not seeing the comments and stuff for some reason. Hold on. Hey Mal. Okay, now I'm seeing it. I guess I don't need to see this particular page as long as it's working. Oh, Mal's always first. Always first in here. How are you, Mal? Hey, Mark. We always got our trusty folks in here. Josh, we got our trusty folks in today. So I had like the last couple of days have been really crazy trying to get all this stuff done, and I, I my alarm didn't go off. I don't know if I didn't set it off or something last night, and I way overslept, so I'm super behind today. And it also didn't help that it was like rainy. It's been rainy here and like gloomy and like perfect. It hasn't rained in Texas in like months now. And so
Hmm.
now it's that perfect like sleeping weather. And I think it just everything caught up with me. The kung fu, the work, all this stuff. And I just like I woke up and I go, oh my God, what time is it? It's crazy. So and Ella was like, oh, wow, way to phone it in, Chris. Way to phone
I
it
did
in.
say that. I
Yeah,
said that.
I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She's working me to the bone. So anyway, you
Oh,
guys doing
actually, I
okay?
said I'm glad you got some sleep,
She
which
did.
he did.
To her credit, that's exactly what she said. She's like, I'm glad you got sleep. And I got like, and what's funny was that last month, I was, I mean, not last month, last week, I had done really well just, like going to bed before midnight, which is a big deal for me. It's a huge deal. And I had 4 days in a row of that. And I was functioning so well. And then something happened. Oh, my cat had diarrhea and like all over the house. And I was trying to get the webcomic done on Thursday. That was that night that I was trying to get the webcomic up. It was a total disaster. And I didn't end up going back to bed till 2. And then it's just been this rolling back to 2 in the morning thing. So it was a lot to deal with. How about you, Ella? How's life been for you?
I don't know how I can top that. You know, I just I've been working. I've been doing stuff for you. So here we are. That's my nights are filled with trying to do stuff for the RPG, and getting as much content out as we can, and secret stuff. Lots of secrets all the time now.
Everything's
It
a
used to be
secrets.
fun. I know.
Everything's
Well,
secret.
we used to be able to like, you know what I mean? Like be like, "Hey, here's all this fun stuff. Like, aren't you guys excited?" And now we can't do that kind of stuff anymore. We have to cuz we're growing and so can no longer tell everybody everything.
That's
So
right.
we've got lots of
She's
secrets.
always keeping me under wraps. I can't like she's like, "Oh, I want to say." She's like, "Not yet. You got to wait.
Mhm.
You got to tease this stuff out appropriately." So, anyway, so you want to tell him what we're up to today?
Yeah, so today we have done this mystery live, which I'm sure everybody is curious about why um we're doing something that's mysterious, but we wanted to just sort of pop in and do this is going to be a shorter live. We're going to just do something that's a little bit fun. We are if you might have noticed over the past couple of months, we've been doing our YouTube series really consistently, and we've been doing a lot of different stuff, just kind of testing it out. Well, we think that we have found what we want our YouTube to turn into. And I'm not going to spoil all of it, but one thing that we're going to do is we are going to have more art in there instead of Chris and I. We're going to have more art of, animation type stuff and some keyframe stuff. And to do that, we need the art of it. And so today we wanted to give you guys sort of a hint about who is going to be helping us in our videos moving forward. without revealing everything that we're going to be doing. So Chris is going to be drawing something, a little secret special thing, and you guys get to see it before it comes out, because we have to wait a little bit for before we can start posting on YouTube again, and we want our YouTube channel to be really good. So we're going to be taking down some old stuff, putting up some new stuff, revising some of the stuff. And so that is sort of the mystery of today, is that we just wanted to kind of jump in real quick, show you a sneak peek, and then go off and do our work and then do more stuff. So
Well,
don't want to
it's
spoil all of it, but some of it.
she's got me nervous because I don't know what I can't say and can't say anymore. So I'm just gonna go by her lead because later she's gonna chastise me and tell me that I revealed too much. So
All I we,
I'm gonna let her do the reveals. I'm not gonna say nothing.
we can we can reveal sort of what we're going to do. Maybe we keep under wraps sort of what the content of the videos is going to be, you
Mm.
know.
Boofy, it's a mystery stream about the fact that there's a mystery.
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, you tell him. You tell him. So I'm going to switch over, show you, working on some of these keyframes. They're going to show up in this. You can watch as I do this. Each keyframe is going to be different poses and different expressions. And there's going to be this pretty sizable library because each expression. Sorry, I got to sneeze. Hold on. Each expression, each like pose can have multiple expressions and things like that. So, anyways, I'll switch over to that and then we'll keep working on that.
Yeah. So what we're going to be doing, and I won't reveal sort of the content of it. It'll be very obvious once it pops up. Um, but we are going to be sort of backing up. Chris and I are going to be backing out of the like limelight of videos, and we're going to be letting um some art speak for us instead. um and what's so cool about this is we are going to be using Hugo here to sort of speak for us. And so it's not going to be like full animation, but he is going to be, he's going to be doing some keyframes and um some talking for us, and we've got somebody who's going to come in and voice Hugo. And I think I will tell you about sort of what Hugo's going to be doing, but I'm not going to say who's voicing him, because that there's many voices of Hugo, and we don't want to give away the identity of who this person is. So Hugo's going to be coming in and he's going to be doing some keyframe animation for us. And he's going to be talking, and he's going to be giving the lore of Flux Destiny. And so we're going to be doing videos about some of the lore stuff. It's not like a VTuber thing. It's more like animation. He's not going to be a 3D model. He's going to be art. And so he's going to be coming in and he's going to be explaining better than Chris and I ever could the lore of Flux Destiny. And it's going to be fun, and it's going to be cute. And it's been a little bit of time in the making, because Chris has to draw all of these, and we finally got to a point where we found the person we want to voice Hugo, which, as you guys know, is a pretty big deal. And Chris has to do all these mouth poses and all these expressions and all these different things, and I've wrote out a really big list for him to do all of these different things. And we're really excited about it, and we're 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 very excited to show these to you. And we honestly, we can't wait. We're excited for the YouTube channel to really change directions, because it's just been so much of Chris and I just like figuring out what we want to do and who we want to be on our channel and what Flux Destiny is about. And so instead, we are going to be going full in on Flux Destiny. And Hugo's going to lead the show from now on. In a large sense, there's going to be a lot less of Chris and I in the videos. In fact, I doubt that there will be much of us outside of the lives, because we are going to be, Hugo is more important to the story, because Chris and I aren't in Flux Destiny. We just create it. So we are excited for Hugo to take over and do YouTube for us, and we get to sit back and relax and not have to do anything anymore.
Right. Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Not have to do nothing anymore. It's there's gonna be a obviously, like she said, we're gonna be doing the lives. That's not gonna change. But having the characters come in and do these videos and do the lore is gonna be a lot of fun. And we think we found a really great voice for Hugo for these videos, and so we're pretty excited. And we're working on casting the others. And so we're gonna
Mhm.
do multiple we're gonna introduce the new characters that show up in the next book will show up as well, so that like pre-introduced. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff. So we're in the middle of doing all this, and we're finishing the next the version 1 of the RPG, which we are feverishly working on right now. Ella is like insanely busy trying to finish the advanced mechanics and do one shot, so she's been crazy busy on that. And then doing the game nights with that. So there's so much going on with that that it's going to be really awesome. So you know, it's just a lot. I've never drawn so much in my in my life, and sometimes I'm drawing so much all the time. I'm actually working on the next page that comes out tomorrow. I hope you guys have been enjoying the webcomic. Um, there's a that's just a a little preview of what's to come. Like this particular story that the that that we're showing right now is kind of like a little preview story. It's like a kind of a warm up story with it, and then we've got a bunch of other like prequel stories that we're writing right now that will feature. And so my plan is Ella's trying to make me realize I'm human, and she's right, and I need to be more healthy so that I don't go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. My goal is to get 3 pages out a week. I'm far from there. I'm barely able to get two with writing and everything else I have to do. But I want to, you know, get these things out much more quickly.
Yeah. Well, and we I hope that you guys have been noticing all of the sort of shift in content that we've been doing. I know that you guys are excited for sort of the big stuff that we have coming out. This the graphic novel is very big for us. This is a very big project. We're going to be doing a bunch of these, like Chris said, a bunch of little shorts, and then some bigger, much longer pieces. Because we're kind of just testing out how we want the style to be and what we want it to look like. And then once we get to the bigger graphic novels, those are going to be much more in line with all of these graphic novels are canon. You know what I mean? They exist. They're happening in the world. So we are putting content out there that isn't is no longer like, oh, is this canon or is this not? Like all of the short stories that we're doing are canon. All of the graphic novel stuff that we're doing is canon. This is stuff that is in the world that is you can look at and go, okay, this is what Carmistry looks like now, and this is, you know, this is something that Hugo and Marco went through. So the stuff that's happening in the graphic novels is happening for real, and you know, it's no more just like, oh, Hugo might look like this, or maybe one day we'll do this. Like, we're doing all of this stuff that's really for real. And it really started with you guys, because when we started drawing stuff like Gooba and Eva the Ink Fighter and these clockbots and stuff, we realized how expansive the world is, and we're like, we need to just start canonizing, you know, start making stories with these guys, because we have a big enough world to do it. And so we hope that you guys have been enjoying our content on Patreon. That stuff will go out for people to view for free eventually, but if you're on Patreon, you're gonna get it first. So we hope that you enjoy all of the teasers and sneak previews that we're giving you on Patreon. And if you're not on Patreon, we hope that you join us there, because it's really, we're putting out some cool stuff, and we hope that you get to see it first. So
It's going to be fun to do. It's funny because when Ella provided me like, okay, here's the list that I think we should work with for the different expressions and poses, what I don't think she realized when she sent it to me was that I was going to then extrapolate from that, and like each pose is going to be have like 5 different expressions. So it's like exponential. Like what she gave me like what did you give me, like 15,
10, yeah, I
10
gave
something
you
like
like
that?
10 drawings.
Well, those 10 drawings will end up being like what 50 different 50 different poses, because each one will have different expressions that she can draw from. And also these are bases, so we can change the outfits on them, right? So
Yeah.
if we want to do a Christmas theme one, I can draw the Santa Claus outfit on him, whatever, and that's going to be the same one. So it's going to be this. It's a
Yeah.
huge like production asset library of stuff that we have to produce.
And Chris and I are finally merging our two talents, my animation industry, talents and your drawing, and we're putting them together so I can finally take these into like After Effects and animate with them, and it'll be a lot of fun. And um not that we haven't done stuff together, just we're excited to do something that feels really like us, and this is the start of it. And there's going to be still like drawing and behind the scenes videos, but they're going to look a little bit differently. We want people to come into this world and not get super confused. You guys have been with us for so long. You know the world, you know what's canon and not, but we don't want to put stuff out there anymore that's not canon. And so we've passed this threshold where what you guys are seeing from now on, like, it's launched. You know what I mean? We didn't have a launch party or anything, but this is kind of it. We're excited to fully step into Flex Destiny, and um, this is like the start of a huge new era for us, in which we're producing graphic novels, stories, these videos, and there's more stuff coming, and we're so excited for it. And the RPG as well is expanding very quickly, and we got so many people talking about it. So
Well, and I'll add that to answer a couple questions, I saw something that Ruben wrote up there
mhm,
about the characters' ages. So that characters' ages fluctuate because it depends on the time in the story that things happen. Because the story that follows Hugo and Marco happens over a couple years, so it really depends on their age when it's happening in the story. Um, the prequel comics that we're doing, they will be younger because it happens before the mainline series events.
yeah,
Uh, so it just depends on when the story is happening, what their ages are going to be, in it. So that's really the source of the fluctuation on those things. And then this kind of stuff, we everything that we do, like all the stories that you've been reading, we just posted a new story, a new chapter on Patreon today of the Ink Fighter story, which Ella has been doing such an amazing job with this story. This is her story. She wrote this, and she's been doing such an awesome job helping expand the universe with some of these things. I highly recommend, if you haven't read it already, you need to catch up on that story. So, and each one of those, like she said, is canon. Everything we put out now is canon, um, with the exception of stupid things that I do, like memes and stuff. Obviously, that's not. But like narrative content and stuff, that's all. That's all canon. Um, and I review all of it and I edit all of it. So all that is like, it's not just, oh, we throw it up there. It takes a lot of work to her. She and I meet and we look at it in relation to the whole universe and the timelines of things to make sure that everything fits. She writes it, I edit it down, and then we get it put up. So everything you put up has been like Hugo approved, okay, and Hugo
yeah,
meaning me, me, me approved, right? And so we thought that doing these videos, like, so instead of us doing like talking heads and stuff, it would be fun to continue to bring the world to life, because every time the RPG has been going out to a lot of different groups to look at, and we've been getting such amazing responses to the RPG that we thought, you know what, it would be really cool if we take the next step and start bringing the characters more literally to life in these videos. And so that started with when we found what we, the voice for Hugo, and then finding these other voices. And so it's going to be a few weeks. I don't know when exactly we're going to drop this. We're in the deep in production of this right now, but we're going to put out these quality videos on a regular basis of these. Um, so it's going to be a lot less of the stuff we've been dropping for some time, and more, you know, highly Flux Destiny focused, quality content that we're doing. So
yeah. We want everything that we do. again, like, we've passed this sort of new milestone in which the things that we put out on our Discord, the things that we put out for the RPG, the things that we put out on YouTube, all of it is like another step towards Flux Destiny becoming more and more realized. Like Hugo's stories, these prequels, as you guys will see, it's hard to tell with this first one, but as you guys will see, they're coming in sort of an order, to get us to one of our bigger graphic novel pieces. And you'll see that, you know, we're starting sort of from the beginning to give you an idea of some background, so that when we do get to these bigger prequel stories and then eventually the mainline series, you'll see there's actually all of this stuff. You don't have to like go to the wiki and read like, oh, how many siblings does Hugo have, or what's Marco's family like. You can actually read it. You can actually see it and learn more about it to begin with. And so that's our goal, is that we want we want all this world building that we have like in the lore channel and on Discord and on Patreon to sort of come out into either the written form or the graphic novel form or these videos even. And so we're really excited that we're gonna nothing's going to be kind of behind. You have to read all this stuff to figure out the world. We want it to be really clear and make a lot of sense. And then when the mainline series and other big projects drop, you'll have this wealth of information. And I'm sure Eddie's going to be very excited to be updating the wiki every single day with all of these new canon characters and groups of people and stuff.
Yeah, there's gonna be a flood now coming. So this is kind of your preparation for that. Mal, I'm glad you like the ears. I like drawing those big ears too. It's always fun to draw. I think I spend way too much time on the ears when I draw these things. And it's gonna be fun to see them doing different, interacting, doing different expressions, teaching about the world. There's so much to cover that you know, uh, and then having different characters that you hear about show up as well is going to be a lot of fun too. So it's a lot of work, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We're super thrilled about it.
Yeah, and we just wanted to come on and tell you real quickly, because we know that we sort of teased that we had a mystery, and so now here's the mystery, and the mystery is solved. And obviously there's so much that we want to tell you so badly, and there's so much that we want to be like, oh, here's everything that's happening. But the more that you guys will learn and the more that you guys will see the content, I think you'll be very excited and very pleased. And it's the Hugo and Flux Destiny shows now, and Chris and I get to go and create that. And it's honestly, it's such a joy. Chris, I don't know if you feel like that, but I definitely feel like we've now it's been birthed and now we're raising it a little bit. That
That's ex-
birth process is over.
that's exactly it. We've talked about a long time that I know in one of our ancient videos we talked about. Ella always hated when I said this, but it was like birthing process. She said it. She brought it back up. I didn't say it.
I did.
I feel like I've been in labor for a very long time, and now
Mhm.
finally that I'm shooting out a lot of babies. Okay, babies are just shooting out and shooting out, and it's about time. It's time, and it's this is the development of all this is over. We will have an update on the book in the very near future. That's its own discussion that we got to have with you guys. So there's a lot. So it's like I think of it like when you see popcorn, like a popcorn kernel pop, and suddenly it's just like all of a sudden, there's all this popcorn.
Mhm.
That's what's happening right now. Is that there's going to be so much stuff that you guys are going to be like, oh my god, um, you know. Uh, so having your support on all this and having you guys, um, you know, be be excited and be with us for these kind of these announcements is a pretty big deal. Just wait for the release of the full version 1 of the RPG. We've got GMs who are lining up, and so we've always felt I one thing that was really important to me when designing Flux Destiny and Flux Fantasy was that Flux Fantasy is not some afterthought. It's like on the level of Flux Destiny. So both of them live together. And it's not just like, oh, we have an RPG. No, it's something that we service, right? Like it's part of the community because I want people to feel immersed in the world. So um, it's with the new NPC packs that are coming out, all this new highly focused Flux Destiny art, the web comic, which I'm having so much fun. Like returning to, I'll never forget when Ella and I were on the phone or on a call got a few weeks ago, and we both had the same thought. Remember, it was actually about something related to the webcomic, but it was basically like the return to webcomics, right?
Yes.
And
Yes, I
she
remember.
said something. She goes, "I know what you're thinking," and I go, and I was literally doing this, and I go, because I was like, I haven't, it's been many years since I've drawn graphic novels, and it was like a coming home for me to come and back
Mm.
and do that. And I had all this like I didn't realize how much pent up creativity I had in doing them. And these recent pages that I did with all this action, I was a little intimidated, I'll be honest with you, because I hadn't done it in so long. Um, and we've had other artists who worked for us and do art for us. And I was like, can I really pull this off? I gotta say, I'm pretty proud of myself.
I'm proud of you too. Yeah.
I feel a lot of my art is accidental. So, I'm always like, okay, that accidentally came out okay.
Yeah. But we're not doing that anymore. We're not accidental. Mark mark your calendars. When that story launched on Patreon, that Ink Fighter story, that was the start of Canon Flux Destiny. And Chris is no longer making accidental art, and we are not accidental. And so
There's
Flux
no
Destiny just
accidents anymore.
grew.
Everything is absolutely purposeful. It's been fun too, drawing, being able to illustrate karmistry and show it in motion. You know, I think another thing too with the graphic novels was I've done colored comics for so many years prior to all this, and there's so much work to do that. And going into manga style uh, webcomic, even the ratio, the page ratio is even manga ratio. I spent a lot of time studying what makes those look good, like why black and white manga looks so appealing. What is it about it? And I poured over that, and I was like, I want to take inspiration from that. And then as I started doing it, I was like, I like this better than color. I can't believe it. Like that's a huge character growth for me to get to that point. To
Mhm.
be like, oh, I'm don't have to color everything anymore. Which is like one of my weaknesses. I'm not very good at coloring. It comes out, but just after like really hard work. That's not my natural talent. But doing it in black and white, there's just this. I don't know if you guys feel this way, but sometimes I see when I see like line art versus like something fully colored, for some reason I'm drawn to the line art more
Mm.
than I am to the final um, finished piece. So I don't know if it has to do with like your brain being able to like process it more simply because it's been stripped of all the unnecessary information. These
Yeah.
are the things that are going through my head as I'm drawing, which I probably need to invest in other thoughts, but I can't help.
No, it
I'm
makes sense.
alone here drawing.
You're I I I get what you're saying because I feel the same way about the writing. We're two halves here of trying to. For a long time we thought like, oh, it can only be the mainline series and that's when we'll really start. And what we realized is like you guys enjoy our process and you enjoy what we're doing, and there's so much world that we want to talk about and so many things that Chris can draw really really well and really amazing. And it doesn't have to be perfect in like the, oh, it doesn't have to be a book form, or it doesn't have to be the way that we thought it was going to be. And so now we're just doing stuff and we're like, you know what, let's just do it. Like stop prepping. Like stop all this prep work. Like let's just do it. And so here we are doing it, and we're very proud of it, and we're so excited to share it with you. And each day we get more and more ideas of things that we can do. And Chris summed it up perfectly. We're so excited, we're like bubbling. We're tripping over ourselves because there's so much to do.
I
So
wish
yeah.
if I had one superpower, I mentioned this before, is I could duplicate myself. I wish I could
Yeah.
have. If I could have five Chris's, so much would happen. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'd make one Chris, you just go do the web comics. This other Chris, all you do is write.
Mm-hmm.
The third Chris would all he would do is like handle the business stuff, which that's its own thing. The fourth
The
Chris
fifth
would be dedicated to having meetings with Ella, and then be
and
like
the fifth one is cleaning up cat puke. Just
the fifth one. You beat me to it. The fifth one, it would be cleaning up cat puke, and that's its whole job. You know. So
You are doing so well, and we are not hiding anymore behind prep. We are so excited. Chris is doing so much work. You guys have no idea. And we're so excited. I I can't even explain the stuff that we're doing and how excited we are. And there's more secrets and more mysteries. And you guys are going to just have to get used to that, that there's going to be stuff that we can't tell you because we have to wait and we have to give it to everybody. So thank you guys for believing in us. You guys have been through with us through this prep, which I know is hard. It's hard to follow something when we're not sure about it. We don't know where it's going to go. But now we're sure and we know what direction it's going in, and we're so grateful. So, thank you guys so much.
and thank you to this lady, or this lady. Sorry, I'm not sure which way my box is going. This lady has been like working her tail off on this stuff, and she's been keeping me going. And she's like, I feel like I'm like Rocky, and she's my coach, and
Yes.
she's constantly like pushing me and being like, I don't think we should do that, or I think we should do this. I think that would be
Mm.
better. That's cute idea, Chris. If you here's a better idea. So I'm very fortunate to have her here, and we are all fortunate to have Ella here with us because all this expanded universe stuff that has been so awesome, and all this like work that we've been doing has been awesome, and her awesome mechanics for the RPG have really gotten a lot of attention for us. So big clapping for Ella, because we love Ella. We have a huge Ella stan community here.
Oh,
So
you guys are so sweet. I love nothing more than setting up mysteries for you guys to find and to do things for you. Like I literally will do stuff and I'm like, I cannot wait till people discover this, till people figure this out. And I love when I send stuff to Chris and he really likes it. I just feel so fortunate to create in a world that's so beautiful and is so well written. And I'm so glad that the things that we're coming out with right now are canon and and I Flux Fantasy is like a dream come true, and this community is like a dream come true, and we're just gonna keep working and doing our stuff and keep coming out with all kinds of stuff for you guys and for each other. Chris and I like to send stuff to each other and be like, "Do you like this? Do you think that this is good?" And it's a fun time. So
and she talks about, last thing I'll say is that there is so much of the universe that obviously you don't see, because it's all like, if you saw all the stuff behind the scenes, we have a huge internal wiki that has all the development of the universe I've done over the last several years to get it to this point. And so it's all planned out. The mainline story is mapped out over the several books that it will take place over. So there's all this material that has been developed, because I've mentioned this a lot in my videos in the past. I don't like retconning. I like things to be purposeful. I like things that when you read a story, that when you get to the end of the story, you're like, oh, what happened here actually connects to the end. That it wasn't like, oh, I came up with that on the way and that's kind of cool and let me do that. No, the reason it took me so long to get to this point was to get all those connections put in place. And she's Ella's seen it, so she's seen under the hood and she's seen everything that's there. She can tell you that it's quite intricate what's happening behind the scenes with it. So you see all the goofy Hugo stuff all the time, and that's been kind of like Hugo entertaining you, the dancing clown, while we were waiting for all this to happen. And now we're going from dancing clown Hugo to hero Hugo, and
mhm.
I'm really excited about this. This has been a long time coming. So um,
Yeah.
I kind of can't believe we're at this point, because it's taken me forever to get to this point, and I've invested many years, lots of money, and lots of time to get to this point. And so I am super excited to share this universe and this story with you guys. And I think it's way bigger than you even can imagine once you start getting into it. So
Yeah,
thank you guys
exactly.
so much. All right. Well, be sure to go check out, if you haven't already, you can go to fluxfantasy.com, sign up for the RPG. You can get the character kit for free if you do that. If you go to fluxfantasyrpg.com, you can go buy the core rule book and start joining us in the process. If you're a member of Patreon, you get it for free. If you're on the $10 tier, and then you get a discount at the um, $5 tier. So there's all sorts of options to get in there. And you guys who, we have like our awesome supporters here who've been here forever, fans who buy everything we put out and support us on Patreon, and all that stuff helps these little indie studios like us keep going. And so thank you for buying the shirts and joining the Patreon and buying the prints and all the stuff that we put out there. It really means a lot to me when I see that. So thank you guys so much. Uh, yeah, Ella, that's all from me.
That's it. We have to get back to work because there's
Yeah,
so
we have to
much.
get back to it, but we will. Wait, isn't there another stream this tomorrow? There's a stream tomorrow, right?
There's a stream tomorrow. We're gonna be building. We're gonna be helping Chris build a fishbowl. You know, our little pocket world that's definitely more handheld than a Flex Destiny. But we're gonna be building one and having some fun and doing a lot of stuff like that. So
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun because we're going to say so. The concept of if you're behind on your car mystery background, Flux Destinies you have to build on canvases, right? But you can build small ones in what's called fish bowls. And fish bowls they're called fish bowls, but they're not literal fish bowls. I mean, they can take the shape of a sphere, but they're basically little containers that you can create tiny Flex Destinies in, and they're almost like chemistry sets, kind of.
yeah,
And you can create them in there. You can also transport if you're a biochemistry specialist and you make like you know pet pets in your Flex Destinies, you can transport them from one Flex Destiny to another with these fish bowls. So we're gonna start doing these fish bowls tomorrow, which will be fun. We'll get some ideas and I'll draw those out, and that'll be a fun one. So that one's tomorrow.
yeah.
So
Get ready for lots of world building.
yeah.
That's what our lives are gonna be for a while, and we're gonna have a lot of fun with it.
All right, guys. Ella, thanks so much. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.